So today, Briscoe the dog is sitting in for me. Yeah, keep your head up, man. We're going to talk about getting started with keto, Keto Flu, and yeah, what is hunger? Welcome back. We're going to talk some about surviving, starting off in keto, low carb diet, paleo, and the survival tactics and strategies to get through probably some of the toughest part. Once you're fully into it and fully committed to it, I think it's very simple. I think it's easier than a regular diet because you know what you can and can't eat. And please, if this is something you like, please click subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. All those things will certainly help me to do more of this. And I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So please share it, and that'll allow me to do more. And that's my goal. Everybody needs a dream. So let's take a look at using the Stupid Simple Keto app. Let's take a look at what an average day would have looked like before I was on keto. So if I started off and I had 2 pieces of toast, and I'm not even counting the butter or anything, and say maybe I had a fat-free yogurt and a banana. Well, sounds like a good breakfast, right? You're looking at about 330 calories and about 51 carbs. So at that point, I'm hungry for lunch come noon because I need to replenish those carbs, because they burned up and stored out. And so for lunch, I'm going to have a good old-fashioned peanut butter and not jelly, but peanut butter and honey. I love peanut butter and honey sandwiches. So there's a couple more slices of bread, and I'll have a glass of fat-free milk, right? That's good for me, right? And then some grapes. That's good for me. 976 calories and 114 carbs. So combined, breakfast and lunch is 1,306 calories and 169 carbs. So now if we're looking at dinner, we're going to have tacos. So beef tacos, refries, and I might have 3 tacos. And this isn't including the carbs from, or the calories from the seasoning and the sour cream and the salsa and anything else that goes with it, or the lettuce or anything else, just the basics. And there's also the sugar that I put in my coffee from earlier. So if we put all that together, that's 2,698 calories and 385 carbs. So if I combine breakfast, lunch, and dinner, my calorie intake for the day, that's without any dessert or anything, is 4,004 calories and 554 carbs, which, I would probably consume on a regular basis, and I think most people do. You eat 3 tacos. I mean, is that unheard of? I don't think so. So let's compare this to what I eat currently. And this is for the same day. So if I started off my day, breakfast with a bulletproof coffee, 333 calories, it's enough energy to really get me through. And that's I don't do the MCT oil, but that would be butter or coconut oil, sometimes both. But it gets me up around that range. And I probably don't even get that many calories out of it. But and then say for lunch, I have 2 hard-boiled eggs, sliced with a little bit of salt or into a little bit of egg salad. So I might be leaving off a little bit of the. I make a mayonnaise out of bacon fat, which is pretty amazing. Makes a great deviled egg or egg salad sort of thing. One of the so say that's my lunch. And then for dinner, I have chicken thighs, 2 chicken thighs, big pile of zucchini, some asparagus, and there's butter in there, for the vegetables and things. So I threw that in. And then for dessert, I have sugar-free Jello in around that range. So when you look at the total caloric intake for that, I'm looking at about I'm leaving at about 63 grams of protein. My fat has outpaced my protein by a little bit, 47 grams, but I still leave 6 grams of carbs on the table that I didn't eat, and I've still left 698 calories that I didn't consume. Oh, I need to go back and get a screenshot of what the calories look like before I get started. Well, that was in my other video. But anyway, so I usually don't come anywhere near it, and I feel safe with that. And so, as I pointed out before, up in the upper left-hand corner of this slide, there's the pig. And so you can see I've got 58,518 calories, if I'm reading that right, that I have not, that I banked, that I didn't use. And usually I'm overly generous with the portions and the calories that I consume. So you could see what a difference this was, and that's why, my system went through withdrawals when I took all those carbohydrates out. And again, I believe you don't have to consume. You got to find out for yourself. Do your research. Get the details, because everybody's got an opinion on this stuff, and there's so many experts out there, and that there's guys like Dr. Barry that'll tell you he's done his work and he knows what's going on, and then there's just truly experts. My definition of an expert is the literal definition. This is try not to say something I shouldn't, but okay, an X is a has-been and a spurt is a drip under pressure, so take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, I think that this is a good way to look at the old way of eating. I don't think that was out of the ordinary, and the way that I need to eat. And I'm 56 years old, and about 6'1" tall, and fairly I think energetic during the day. So when I decided to do this, I decided to go all in. I was going to do it, just make it all happen. So I went ahead and started full-fledged into keto. I set my goals. At the time, I think I was doing 25 carbs a day, and it was going pretty well. It seemed to be better than when I tried the low-carb or just the paleo diet. It didn't seem to be as tired because I was shooting for the fat macros and following that. And so at the end of the second week, I believe it was, at the end of the second week, Keto Flu hit, and that was kind of rough. I remember Christine and I were shopping, replenishing the cabinets from throwing out all the bad food, and we were going through Costco, and I told her I didn't think I was going to be able to make it back out to the car. I was that drained, that not feeling well. So when we finally did get home, I crawled into bed, I slept a little bit, and I felt better. So one of the things that I experienced and that helped me get through the whole keto flu was a little bit of salt on the tongue. I mean, some of the things I saw, strategies, making sure I got plenty of water, going through all of that. But I realized as I was going through all of these uncomfortable things that were happening with the what they call the keto flu, that it was really a case of detoxification. I hate to use the word detox, but it's more in the addiction side of the whole thing, because my body was dependent on those, and it was craving them. It was putting up a fight to force me to go back to taking that easy energy, and all the things that went with it. The energy drinks and all the things that had to keep fueling that short burst of energy that was so unhealthy for me. So really sticking with it, those couple of days were fine. Christine didn't have any problem, my wife, with getting through it. She didn't really have the flu, but she eased her way into it more and wasn't as carb dependent as I was. So that certainly helped. But then from there, I had no problem. I didn't feel it again. I got through it, no problem. Once I was through that little phase, and it wasn't a full 2 days. It was halfway through the Saturday, and then halfway through Sunday. By Sunday night, I was feeling fine. And then from there, I really never looked back. I don't think there's anything wrong with the keto flu. Now, you get people that tell you all the time that, and you'll see all the time that low carb is bad, and do your research. I could tell you, you can find videos of people that talk to Martians. I mean, you can find anything you want out there. I could be full of whatever, but this is what I've done so far, and really am am enjoying the experience. And I want to hear from people. I want to hear what you've experienced while you're doing this. That would be great. Post it, and let's kind of grow from that. I've got lots to talk about, with all the different options that that people find, all the different recipes. I haven't even started on recipes yet. When we get to that, I'm really looking forward to it. I have some really cool ideas. We certainly don't want for variety with food. If you're not creative and you're not trying, then sure, it can get pretty boring, I guess, like anything else. But staying away from the other carb stuff has not been a problem. One of the interesting things that happened shortly after I'd gotten over all of this and was really seemed to be on my way. I was losing weight. I was feeling great. It was all going really well. I'm originally from New York, and when we went back to New York for our family get-together, I had the opportunity to have bagels. I mean, it's some of the things that I miss. I miss pizza, and I miss good pizza from New York, and bagels. So the one day I had half a bagel, the next day I had a whole bagel. And then for the next 2 days I suffered. My joints hurt. I didn't feel well. And it was all those things that I should have had, and I had it again. So the temporary feeling of euphoria for having a really good everything bagel with cream cheese wasn't worth it, and I don't crave it anymore, because it'd be like, oh, I crave smashing myself on the thumb with a hammer. That's not going to happen again. I'm typically now on either a 16-hour fast or a 20-hour fast, so I only eat during 4 or 8 hours of the day in the afternoon. And that seems to work really well for me. If I need something, like I'm starting to get tired early in the afternoon or something, I'll just, people call them fat bombs. We'll talk more about those and about what I think about those things. I don't look for anything that's I don't, in this diet, I don't want to eat a keto Twinkie to make me feel better. I'd rather eat what I'm supposed to be eating, and not call it something different. I've got some recipes that I call, back into a carb world food, but not like that. So I just go for what I need, and that seems to really work. Bulletproof coffees are pretty interesting. I'm not a huge fan. I love coffee. I used to drink my coffee with creamer or cream, the powdered creamer, and 2 teaspoons of sugar at least. I don't anymore, and I really enjoy coffee without it. So that part's going really well. It took me a little while to get used to it, but it was all worthwhile because the way I felt. And it's only because I push myself. That's one of the things I want to have a conversation about in the next couple of weeks, is what really is hunger. Hunger doesn't make any sense. When I say hunger, it should be like people, poor people or people in unfortunate circumstances in countries where they just can't get food. That's hungry. I mean, where they're eating things, or not eating anything at all. It's not watching a cooking program and saying, man, I'm starving watching that guy eat or cook that food. That's not hungry. That's something else. And throughout the day, you get these hunger pains. I guess it's all in your head, because if you work through it, typically you feel fine. Now, when I was carb dependent, those hunger things would make me hangry. I'd get angry. One of those things where you wouldn't go shopping, grocery shopping, when you're hungry because you'd buy too much. And now I intentionally do not eat before I go, so I'm fine with that. It's not really hunger. It's I don't know what it is. Again, I'm looking for feedback. If somebody has a better explanation of what that hunger is, because it should be some different hunger. It's not really like I haven't eaten in days and I really wish I could. I'm just, my body's craving something, and it's just a craving, but it feels like hunger. You get the gut pain and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I said, like, I'm learning from it. We're all learning from it, hopefully, and I'm looking for feedback. But that is quite the unusual thing. So we're going to talk more about that in the future. My next video next week is going to be a review of a glucose and keto meter that I use. I really like it. It's not inexpensive, unfortunately, the keto strips, to get a really good idea. But I have a reason for why I do it, and I think it's, even if I wasn't doing this video, I would still test it occasionally. But we'll talk more about that. So I think it's pretty interesting data, particularly if you're on, diabetic medications and things like that. So type 2 diabetic medications. So I'm looking forward to that. So again, please subscribe and click like. Give me the thumbs up, and tell a friend. Share it, please. All these things will help me to get real equipment and better lighting, better sound. Testing. Because I think there's a lot to bring to this, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying putting in these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them. So thank you. And that's the other thing with this. I definitely sleep better at night. I definitely sleep better at night. And there's a lot of strategies with that too, because that's a really big thing to make sure you get the adequate amount of sleep. So. Yeah, there's just so many things. That's why I started a channel. There's so many things to talk about, and we're gonna talk about all those things, hopefully. So let's keep this going.